We're the Young People's Midwives for the Greenwich Borough. Today we're going to talk to you about breastfeeding your baby. We'll give you all of the information that you need to make an informed decision.
So to get ready for breastfeeding, during pregnancy, your body will go through many changes and particularly you'll notice changes in your breasts. You might notice your breasts feel a bit more tender, or you'll notice a tingling sensation around your nipple area, and that's perfectly normal. It's just caused by the increased level of progesterone. You might also notice an increase in your breast size, and the shape might change as well. Changes in the colour and size of the nipple and the areola, so the bit around the nipple. And you might notice also more prominent veins in your breast tissue altogether. From 16 weeks, you may notice you are leaking small amount of fluid from your nipples. This is called colostrum and it's perfectly normal. Colostrum is the first milk your baby will have if you do decide to breastfeed. It is full of nutrients and antibodies and it provides great protection from your baby. If you don't leak, it's not a problem at all. It's just some women do and some women don't. If you do start leaking during your pregnancy, you can put on some breast pads.
The amount of colostrum that your body makes matches the size of your baby's tummy and your baby's needs. On the day that your baby is born, your baby's tummy is the size of a marble. It can only hold between 2 and 5 mils of colostrum, so it's only a small amount, but it's highly nutritious and very calorific for your baby. On day 1, your baby's belly is growing even more, and by day 3, it is the size of a ping pong ball. So by day 3 to 4, your milk will come in. This means that the colostrum changes to include additional fluid, and it again matches the needs of your baby. Around this time, your breasts might start to leak milk. They can become quite full and heavy, and that's another time where you may want to use breast pads. So by day 10, your baby's tummy is roughly the size of an egg. You can see that the baby changes and grows rapidly, and your body is very clever and is designed to match your baby's needs.
Breastfeeding has long-term benefits for your baby, lasting right into adulthood. Any amount of breast milk has a positive effect. The longer you breastfeed, the longer the protection lasts and the greater the benefits. Listed below are some of the many benefits breastfeeding has on your baby's health. As well as benefits to your baby, breastfeeding also has many benefits for you, some of which are listed here. Did you also know, by breastfeeding, you can burn up to 500 calories per day, helping you get back into those jeans in no time. And don't forget, breastfeeding saves you money as it's free and it's also good for the environment.
Giving nothing but breast milk is recommended for the first 6 months of your baby's life. After that, giving your baby breast milk alongside solid foods for as long as you and your baby want will help them grow and develop healthily. Now we are going to look at myth busting. Some of the things that you may have heard whilst out and about or through friends and family may not actually be true, so let's have a little look at what the facts are. This is a game that we normally play with our girls in a group setting. We look at statements and identify whether they are a myth about breastfeeding or whether they're a fact and a benefit to mum and baby. Guyana's going to read them out and we're going to have a little look and see what we think.
So when breastfeeding, my baby won't get enough.
That's definitely a myth. So we know that breast milk promotes healthy weight gain and reduces the risk of childhood obesity. We also know that breast milk provides ideal nutrition for babies.
Okay. When breastfeeding, my baby will become really clingy.
That's also a myth. Babies do love to be cuddled. It's the normal development of a baby. We do know that breast milk contains long-chain polyunsaturated fatty acids which help with baby's brain development. Also, breastfed babies are less likely to suffer from sudden infant death, otherwise known as cot death. They don't go into such a deep, heavy sleep as a bottle-fed baby, therefore they wake more regularly, which reduces that risk.
Okay. What about my boobs will become saggy?
Sadly, that might happen, but it's not due to breastfeeding. That is just pregnancy, and that is what happens. But it isn't just because you have been breastfeeding. But what we do know is that breastfeeding does reduce the risk of postmenopausal breast and ovarian cancer.
When breastfeeding, I'll have to eat plain foods.
Actually, it's important that you eat a variety of different flavours. It helps baby to be more familiar with the various flavours that you eat, which may make weaning your baby easier.
So what about if I get sick, I won't be able to breastfeed my baby?
Breastfeeding your baby whilst you are sick actually increases your baby's chances of building some immunity. It will reduce the severity of the colds that your baby may get. Breast milk, as we know, contains important antibodies, especially IgA, which helps to fight off viruses and bacteria. And we also know that breastfeeding reduces the risk of middle ear, respiratory tract and gastrointestinal infections. It means less hospital trips for both of you. Signs that your baby is ready to nurse are called feeding cues. You may find your baby brings his hands to his mouth. He roots, which means moving his head as if looking for your nipple. You may notice mouth opening, lip licking and sucking. Clenching fingers and fists over his chest and tummy. He could bend his arms and legs and he may be fussy. Feeding at this stage is ideal as baby is still calm and will attach to the breast effectively. Crying is the last sign of hunger and by then baby may be too distressed to feed effectively. Responding to your baby's cues will ensure that all of his needs are met, however often this may be. You cannot overfeed a breastfed baby. The breast is not just food, it is also comfort, promotes healthy brain development and security, which will help to build an emotionally secure child and adult. So now we're going to look at how to breastfeed. We will show you some practical tips on getting a good position for your baby and good attachment. Once your baby is born, it will be easier and we will be on hand to help you. So don't worry, it takes a bit of practice and a bit of perseverance, but anyone can breastfeed. Breastfeeding is a skill. You and your baby will learn together and it can take lots of time to get used to.
So firstly, are you comfortable? Use pillows and cushions. Don't forget a drink and snacks. Your shoulders and arms should be relaxed.
So if I was at home, I would have a pillow underneath the baby to support my arm and the baby, and I'd probably have pillows around my back as well, and plenty of snacks and water to drink.
Are your baby's head and body in a straight line?
So what I need to make sure is that my baby isn't being held like this, with her tummy facing the ceiling and her head twisted. We need to make sure that baby's head and spine are in line, which means holding your baby close. And as you can see, her head and her spine are all in line.
Are you holding your baby close to you, facing your breast? Supporting their necks, shoulders and back should allow them to tilt their heads back and swallow easily.
So the way that I'm holding baby means that I have full control. I'm holding her securely. I've got full control of her head and neck, and I've also got a spare hand to help me support my other breast.
Always bring your baby to the breast. Let them latch themselves. Avoid leaning your breast downwards into the baby's mouth.
So I don't want to be here and doing this to try and feed the baby. I need to be sitting comfortably and bring the baby up to the breast, making sure that I stay relaxed with my shoulders and my back.
Your baby needs to get a big mouthful of breast. Placing your baby with their nose level with your nipple will encourage them to open their mouth wide and attach to their breast well.
So if you can see, I'm using this arm to support my baby and this hand to hold the breast. I am aiming my nipple at the baby's nose, encouraging the baby to root and open his mouth. When that baby's mouth is really nice and wide open, I'm going to use my hand on this hand here to quickly bring the baby up and on so he scoops a big mouthful of breast tissue into his mouth.
Try not to hold the back of your baby's head so that they can tip their head back. This way your nipple reaches the soft palate.
So once the baby is attached, the baby's head can really relax back and the chin stays close to the breast while they do that.
Here you can see some pictures of effective positioning and attachment from the Off to the Best Start leaflet. You can find this leaflet in your pregnancy pack. If you do not have this leaflet, please let us know at your next appointment.
For various reasons, there may be times when you have to be away from your baby and so are unable to put them to the breast. This could be because your baby was born a little early and is in special care, or you're going back to education or work, or simply you have a special occasion to attend which baby can't come along to, and therefore someone else is going to feed your baby for you. You don't have to worry, your baby can still have your breast milk, you just have to express it. Expressing milk means squeezing milk out of your breast so you can store it and feed it to your baby later. You may also want to express your milk when your breasts feel uncomfortably full, which is known as engorged, or when you want to try and boost your milk supply. You can express milk by hand or with a breast pump, and today we'll give you information about both options. Some women find it the easier option to express milk by hand, especially in the early days or even first few weeks. In fact, we advise you, if you're having to express before your milk comes in on day 3, you hand express, as putting a pump on too early can make your breasts very sore. Being able to hand express also means you can express without actually needing a pump or even an electric supply. So it's a very useful skill to get a hang of. Here are some tips on how to hand express. Before you start, wash your hands with soap and warm water and have a sterilised bottle ready to collect the milk. You may find it easier to express if you cover your breast with a warm towel first, or after you've had a shower or bath, and when you're feeling most relaxed. Having a photo of your baby nearby can help your milk to flow.
You may want to gently massage your breasts before expressing, as this helps milk to let down. Cup your breast with one hand, then with your other hand form a C shape with your forefinger and thumb. Squeeze gently, keeping your finger and thumb a few centimetres away from your nipple, just outside the darker area around it, the areola. Do not squeeze the nipple itself, as you could make it sore. This should not hurt. Release the pressure, then repeat, building up a rhythm. Try not to slide your fingers over the skin. Drops should start to appear, and then your milk usually starts to flow. If no drops appear, try moving your finger and thumb slightly, but still avoid squeezing the darker area near your nipple. When the flow slows down, move your fingers round to a different section of your breast and repeat. When the flow from one breast has slowed, swap to the other breast. Keep changing breasts until your milk drips very slowly or stops altogether. This information can be found on page 15 in the Off to the Best Start leaflet, which you can refer to at any time. There are 2 different types of breast pumps, manual and electric. Manual pumps are cheaper but may not be as quick as an electric pump. There are so many different pumps out there, and that's because different pumps suit different women, so ask us for advice at your next appointment. We also sometimes have pumps that we can lend out, so please speak with us if this is something you are interested in.
You can store breast milk in a sterilised container or in special breast milk storage bags in the fridge for up to 8 days at 4 degrees or lower, making sure the milk is in the back of your fridge and not on the door. If you're not sure of the temperature of your fridge or it is higher than 4 degrees, use the milk within 3 days. You can store milk for up to 2 weeks in the ice compartment of a fridge and for up to 6 months in a freezer if it is minus 18 degrees or lower. Breast milk that's being cooled in the fridge can be carried in a cool bag with ice packs for up to 24 hours. Storing breast milk in small quantities will help to avoid waste. If you're freezing it, make sure you label and date it first. More information about storing your breast milk can be found on page 16 in the Off to the Best Start leaflet. It's best to defrost frozen breast milk slowly in the fridge before giving it to your baby. If you need to use it straight away, you can defrost it by putting the bottle or pouch of frozen milk in a jug of warm water or holding it under running warm water. Once it's defrosted, give it a swirl or a gentle shake if the milk has separated. Use it straight away. Do not refreeze milk that has been defrosted. Once your baby has drunk from the bottle of breast milk, it should be used within 1 hour and anything left over should be thrown away. You can feed express milk straight from the fridge if your baby is happy to drink it cold. Or you can warm the milk to body temperature by putting the bottle in a jug of warm water or holding it under running warm water. Do not use a microwave to heat up or defrost your breast milk. This can cause hot spots which can burn your baby's mouth.
Many women worry about breastfeeding in public and worry that other people will be able to see their breast while they're feeding. We are going to show you some tips to discreetly feed. Often women feed their babies and people are not even aware. It looks like you're just giving your baby a cuddle. One tip is to do one up, one down, which is where you would wear a normal vest underneath your clothes. When you pull your outer top up, you can pull your underneath vest down and baby can go on the breast. Therefore, you are completely covered up here and all of your tummy is covered as well. Okay. There are also feeding bras which make feeding your baby much easier. Ayani is modelling a feeding bra for us so that we can show you how to do it.
Okay, so this is a non-wired bra. It's completely stretchy, very, very comfortable. It has little clips at the top here, which you simply, when you're ready to feed, unclip, and you can pop baby on. Okay, so when you're out in public and you want to, again, hide yourself a bit, you can also put what we call a breastfeeding apron, just like this, okay? So it's got a little loop here, so you can have constant view of your baby. And again, I'm now unclipping the bra and popping baby straight on. So nobody can see anything. You don't have to get a breastfeeding apron. You could just use a regular muslin square, okay? And you can get these in different sizes. So one like this, just a normal regular size. You simply pop that over you and baby. It's very light. And then you can all, again, keep an eye on your baby through there. Okay, just like that. And lastly, we have this is like, I'm going to put this baby down, and this is another type of cover up, which simply goes over like this. And again, you can just put that over your shoulder, pop baby in. And just as before, unclip your nursing bra and put baby on. And when you're not using it, it can be a scarf. Very handy in the winter.
Feeding your baby discreetly just takes a little bit of practice, and the more you do it and the longer you do it for, the quicker and the easier you will find it. Thanks for watching our breastfeeding session. We hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask one of us.